Hello everyone. Tonight on Old Man Wrenching, I've begun addressing the elephant in the room, which is the central mech. Um, a few issues with that. One, I didn't leave enough room on the artwork, so I've trimmed a little bit of it off there in the cut to get the. I wasn't sure what I was going to use in that central mech, and what I decided to use uh, is a small LCD. It's acting as a third monitor, and I'm running a pinup player, so I can display anything on this that I want. Originally, I was thinking about a bash toy, kind of like Stern's Iron Man, or maybe even something along the lines of like the Led Zeppelin, with the spinner mech in the center. Um, I also played around with a couple, like a Pepper's Ghost hologram, and also did a replica of the Sega hologram. The issue with the holograms was if you have, like, I have a direct light over this table, um, and even with the lights shut off, the Pepper's Ghost and the other effects were very faint. And I just figured, in a like a convention scenario, uh, I'm just not gonna, nobody's gonna be able to see it. So I decided to go with this. This is actually the screen that I was using to do the Pepper's Ghost and the Sega effect. I just had it oriented in a different position this way with the dome underneath of it, to project it back. I saw Tony Hawk has this type of screen mounted down in the playfield, and so you can, look down into it. That's cool. Um, but I really like the idea of a bash toy. So what I've done, I've made this little piece here, and this is not final, this is prototyping, but this is going to mount under the playfield somewhere like that. And then I have a linear actuator that I'm going to use, and he's just going to raise this guy up, and then this will be attached like this. And then what I'm doing in front of it, I have a small piece of angle, which I'm going to show you in a minute because that's what I'm working on presently, with a piece of thicker clear plexi. It's acrylic going to be there, and that's going to sit on top of that bracket, and that's going to create the flushness that I need. And then to protect all of this, just a second. First of all, you have to have a way to to bash this, right? Without destroying it completely, because I mean it's a screen, right? So what I'm going to do is this type of a thing. I'm going to chop this off, but it's going to raise up with the mech, and you're actually going to bash on this, kind of like the mech on Walking Dead, the Will guy. So we'll bash on that, and then I'm going to have a sensor to detect to detect the blows. I also will probably have some sort of even behind that. I'm probably going to have some kind of a protector. I have a bunch of clear acrylic that I use for some other things. When I built the ramps, that same clear acrylic, it's like a 1/4 inch thick. It's really, really powerful stuff as a protector, just to give it a little bit more protection. But the strength of this slider mech, this is actually an old rack mount piece that I've customized so that it will extend above like this. And then this is where I plan on mounting the linear actuator. I'm going to mount it to that, and that's going to pull and push. So that's my plans. And hold on a second, I'll take you in and we'll look at the other piece I'm working on. All right, so this is the bracket that's going to mount to the device that I just showed you. And what I'm doing presently is tapping some holes. This is the piece of clear that I was telling you about. It's going to be mounted just like this. Now, I have a few other ideas for this. I've got some smoke acrylic, and I may layer that thin smoke on top so that it's not so, I don't know. It's kind of janky, you know, like this. I could vinyl wrap it with something, but I'm thinking I would like to have a light shine here. It's like when you hit that mechanism, you get a kind of a flicker or flash or just something to indicate that it has registered that you hit it. You know, because there's a lot of targets on pinball machines that you whack it and maybe it doesn't, you don't think it did anything. So a little indicator is nice. Maybe some kind of a strobe bulb to go off. And I can also, like I said, since that is a video screen, in addition to displaying the enemy that I have, I can display the enemy being damaged by the night sabers, or I can do explosion effects. I can show them being being killed, whatever. But I am going to mix it up between the little display and the bigger displays, so it'll be a much more dramatic effect than just having the little screen. But anyway, let's get on with this. I've tapped this hole here already, and if you've never tapped a hole before, it can be a challenge. The biggest problem normally is just getting it started. What I've tried to do is give myself a little bit I'm using a step bit, and so I got it down to the size of the hole that I wanted, and then I added just a little bit more to kind of give it a little bit of a place to get some purchase when I get started. But basically all I'm going to do is put my tap handle on here, and then I'm going to press down with some force, and then I'm just going to back it up. I mean, you're talking just very small, and just kind of work it. Now with aluminum, it's much easier than steel. But you can see right now I'm terribly crooked, so that's not a good thing. You want to be crooked. You want to be as straight up and down as you can, and that can be a challenge as well. But I'm just going to work it back and forth. And then once I feel that it's getting some purchase, which it is because of the way it is, you can be a little bit more, go a little farther, and then back it up again. A little farther, and then back it up again. A little farther. This time we'll go a bunch. All right. And then we'll back it up. Now, if you listen closely, you might hear a click. And what that's doing is it's clearing itself. It's busting out the material that has accumulated ahead of the cut. So when you back it up, it cleans it. So if you listen, nope, we didn't get any that time. I'll try again. Probably got to get in a little farther. I'm just going to go slow because I don't want to strip it. You also don't want to be pushing down on it and go, ugh, and then you got a real mess. And if you can't hear the click, sometimes you can feel it. But you always want to keep some downward pressure on it. And I've already started to come through the bottom here. And once you break through, it's pretty easy like this. And just chase it on down a bit, and then you can back it up. All right, so now we've got a threaded hole, but it's not clean. I've been working with this thing for, oh my gosh, 30 something years probably. And it is a complete pile, really. It was a 40-piece tap and die of quote-unquote fine carbon steel made in China. And this was at Big Lots over 30 years ago that I bought this. And if you think Chinese quality is bad today, it was atrocious back then. I mean, you can see all the ones that are broken. The dies aren't even drilled straight. So anyway, you get what you pay for. I think this didn't cost anything. I mean, it was in like the bargain bin and stuff. I'd be surprised if I paid $5 for that whole set. And I've been using it for, like I said, 30 years. And yeah, I've destroyed a lot of them, but they're still going. They do give you these things are the worst. These little cheesy. I mean, if you have one of these in your set, you might consider upgrading, because this makes a big difference. Just getting started. So this is the ones that I upgraded to. I don't remember where these came from. These are Irwins, so yeah, they're good. And just look at the difference, in the handle. You're trying to tap a pretty good hole with this thing. That's Mickey Mouse. And that's just a toy. But back to the project. The next thing that I'm going to do is I have another one of these screws. I've got my two good ones that I'm going to use on the machine here, but this one I'm using as a cutter. And the reason why you want to have one that's not your main ones is because when you do this, you're probably going to end up flipping over the threads or the head here. Just kind of skip it a few times and it's going to eat out the center. And you don't want that on your final installed version. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and run this guy through. You can see he's getting a pretty good start, and he's actually pretty straight, so that's a good sign. I'm going to go down a little bit again. I'm going to back it up, down some more, and back it up. And you can use a little bit of oil at this point if you want to. Now it's getting tight, see? Like I said, this is just my cutting phase where I'm finishing the threads, basically. Because, like I said, my taps aren't very good, so the fact they work at all is kind of amazing. This will give you good grip strength, too. Do this a lot. Again, I'm putting pressure down with the palm of my hand and just rotating it. And again, once you break through, it loosens up a little bit. All right. That's enough chasing. I'll go back. And I want this to be a little snug because, it's going to be in a high vibration area. So the fact that it's still tight, that doesn't bother me. So all kinds of measurements been doing for this. There's a lot to take into consideration. So he fits in really nice, just like that. And you have the thickness of this guy. And presently, this is thicker than it will be in situ because it's not completely mounted. This will be underneath and back a little bit, but not much because I've got the thickness of this. It's going to be maybe 1/16 of an inch tops, but I tried to plan for that with this. So it's very close. So anyway, this will be under the playfield. This will all raise up. This will be raised up like this. This will be there. And then the screen will be like that. Oop, there she goes. Yeah, so it'll be like that. All right, so I've got the bracketry mounted up to the slider, the lift mechanism. I just pop riveted the bracket to the lift, and you can just kind of see how it's coming together. This is the mounting point, and if you come over to the table, and then I'm just going to drop it in the hole for now, so what you can see. And there you go. Just goes down in there like that, and then it'll lift up just like this. Down, up. The only real problems that I have with this mechanism right now are, I've had to, like I was saying earlier, I didn't get this diameter quite right, so I had to trim some of my light patches. Not sure how it's going to affect the light yet, if I'm going to get some bleed or something, but it should be okay. Like I said, it's just a prototype. We're just doing the best we can. I think the holes come out really nice. Been clean, there's no CNC on this table at all. So this is all just handwork. Using, let's see, I got my Dremel out and just a standard file. And I've just been working the hole to slowly get it to where I want it. And it's come out good. It doesn't. There's a piece on the back here. That's my stop, and that's why it's hard for me to do this one-handed. But I should get out my tripod, but I'm kind of busy right now. So anyway, that's it. And it just lifts right up. So that's it for tonight, guys. Next video I shoot, I'll probably have more of this assembled. And if I run across something interesting, I'll try and film it. Catch you guys later. Bye.